Hi, I'm Nigel Howarth and welcome to another Shed Sessions Christmas. So here we are again. I'm going to do a light Christmas pudding with a brandy sauce and a ginger cream. And of course all those things remind you of Christmas, but a light Christmas pudding in particular is seriously wonderful, because if you don't like, there's a lot of people don't like the traditional sort of perhaps stodgy Christmas pudding, or it's too intense in flavour. The light Christmas pudding has a wonderful light flavour. It's a wonderfully light dessert, as in the name, and it's easy. It's easy. Okay, so shall we have a look at the ingredients? In front of us we've got some butter and some light brown sugar. We've got some ground almonds, self-raising flour. We've got some mixed peel, raisins, currants and prunes. And we've got 2 egg yolks and 2 egg whites. Then we've got a little bit of milk. We've got some bicarb of soda. We've got a little bit of ginger and we've got some allspice. Okay, so we're going to mix it all up and make it happen. So first thing to do is get our 2 egg whites, pop them into the machine. And I've got a little tiny bit of salt and sugar here to bring that up. And we want to actually bring it up to soft peak. Okay, so we'll add the little pinch of salt and sugar there. And I'll just give it a little bit of an extra. And just check that to see if that's peaky enough. Yeah, that's peaky enough. And then we can just change the bowl and pop the whisk back on, like so. This is a dish I came up with, seems like a lifetime ago, but it's probably sort of 10 years ago. And I sort of bring it, it comes back some years, and then we do a melting Christmas pudding, we do a Christmas pudding souffle, we do a twice baked Christmas pudding souffle, we do a Christmas pudding. But this is definitely one of my faves. So let's put that carefully now when you start the machine, and we need to get that light and fluffy. So cream your sugar and butter until it's light and fluffy. Okay, so we've beaten the we've creamed the sugar and butter now for, it's cold, it's December, so we've creamed it for at least 3 or 4 minutes. So now we need to slowly add the egg yolk. So I'm going to turn it off and just pop the egg yolks in there first of all, and just get them mixed in. So I'm adding all the liquids first. Make sure you just get those thoroughly mixed in. And because it's such a, relatively speaking, such a small amount, I'm just going to make sure that I get in there and mix and get the mix away from the sides, so we get everything fully incorporated. And it's always the same if you're doing a small amount of liquid in a, relatively speaking, a biggish bowl. Okay, so we'll get the spice in there now. That's the allspice, the bicarb, the ginger. Okay, and I'm going to put the fruit in with the brandy sauce. Ooh. Give that a good mix now. Make sure we've got that mixed in, and then turn it down now. Let's get our ground almonds in. Mix those in. And then finally our self-raising flour. And just mix that until it's incorporated. Don't overmix at this stage. don't. Right, okay. Now we can get our mixture now. Okay, and we'll just move that away. And now you can see that lovely mixture there. We can now incorporate our meringue. Our egg white is, and just carefully fold that in. You can't, if you wanted to do it on the machine, you could, but I always feel more in control when you're folding something in. You just take that little bit more time. Okay, so you can see that's lovely and mixed in now. Okay, so here we've got 4 dariole moulds, and we're just going to make sure we brush those with butter. And I brushed the other 3 and just double check. And I've got a J cloth that's soaked in water. So rather than have a bain-marie that's got loads of water in that's a bit precarious, I've got a J cloth there that's soaked, and I'll grab my spoon, and we want to fill them 2/3 full. If you're doing a large amount, you know, if you want to do 12, something like that, then pop the mixture into a piping bag. But I think just for these 4, okay. Stick there. Okay, so we've preheated our oven at 180. So we're looking at about 45 minutes. So let's pop our puddings in there. And we'll set the timer. Okay, now we've got to make our brandy sauce. So I've got equal quantities of cream and milk to go into our pan there. And I've got beurre, which is equal quantities of flour and butter. And that's just softened together and just mixed in. I find that for basically sweet sauces, sweet white sauces, to be the best. You get a really velvety finish with it. And I've got some sugar. So we're going to pop the sugar in there. Okay. And we'll turn that up. Now you don't add your beurre in until until it starts to boil, really, because it won't thicken unless it's boiling. So just put a little bit of brandy in there now, and then we'll have a little try in a minute. Yeah, the sauce is just coming up to the boil now, so the milk and cream is just coming up to the boil now. So let's have a quick look there. There we go. There's the puddings are coming up there. They're souffleing almost. They're that light and fluffy. Ah, right. Okay. I'm getting the sense now that we're nearly there. So let's put a little bit of beurre in. Okay. And just gently, again, just gently work that in. The warmer the mixture is, the better it is, because it will incorporate easier. You can finish this off with, you could finish this off with a little bit of brandy butter if you wanted to. I've got some ginger syrup here. I'm just going to put a bit of that in as well. And I've got now just a little bit more beurre in there. You do need to have it on quite a high heat to mix everything in, but be aware that it can boil over. And that's what I'm being aware of now, because it's boiling now. Okay, so I'm going to turn it down to 4. So we do need to just gently cook that out, and also I need to try it. So we need to have a little try. And you can see. That's lovely. And I just think, because I like brandy, just finishing off with a little bit more brandy. Because you can't have brandy sauce without it tasting, you know, it's got to taste the brandy, hasn't it? Right, okay, that's ready now. So we'll turn that on to number 1, so it'll just stay there. And I'll pop the lid on. And I'm just going to, with the same whisk, all I'm going to do is put some ginger syrup into the cream here. And I'm just going to put a tiny bit of cinnamon. I'll move this. Let's bring this over here. I mean, this is the great thing about an induction hob, if you have one at home, is that you can lie on it, you can whisk on it, you can cook on it. It's just so good. And the hardest thing is just simply getting used to them. So again, I'm going to dust with cinnamon, so I don't want to make this cream too heavy. And I'm just going to check now. Yeah, it's got a lovely flavour of ginger. I've got some stem ginger here to garnish. But just give that a quick whipping there. Okay, so that's nearly there. So, okay, so we'll take them out of there. They've actually only taken 30 minutes. These ovens are really super efficient, so every oven's slightly different. Okay, so what we need to do now is just let them set for 5 minutes, and then we're going to take them out. Okay, so I'm just going to have a cup of coffee. Our puddings have rested now for 5 minutes, so they're still hot. Just going to check out the sauce and just give that a little bit of a blitz. Well, that looks nice. So look, it's nice just to get the liquidizer, stick liquidizer through it and just give a bit of aeration to your sauce. Oh, the brandy's beating me brow there. Right, okay. So we've got that. And just pop that down there. That's ready. Okay, I'll bring the bowls in here. Okay, and we get our puddings out. And they're ready there. And then, okay, so we put some of our sauce over. Just finish off there. Can always serve some extra sauce, and then I've just got a spoon here for my cinnamon cream, and I'm just going to rocher some cream on the top. You've got to be quite quick because you've got a warm pudding to deal with. And then some ginger and a little bit of syrup. And then finally, we've got our icing, cinnamon and icing sugar. And of course, you've got to have that snow at Christmas. And there's your melting Christmas pudding. Oh, that looks yummy. Have a great Christmas. Hi, I'm Nigel Howarth. If you like what you've just seen, then subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on social media. Enjoy!